Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here, Monday the 16th of July. Thanks again for watching. As always, the site's kept completely free of charge by you coming along and using the site and telling your friends about it, because the more adverts that I can show you via the site, the more revenue we generate. So thanks for doing that, and it means that everybody benefits because it's all kept free of charge. Now, what am I going to tell you about? Well, we've got a running theme going at the moment, haven't we, about this improvement in conditions that I've been forecasting now for some time. I think we first mentioned them was at the end of June. The Ensemble models have picked up and have shown high pressure building into the south of the country. Although, if you remember, I always said it wasn't going to be the whole of the country that benefited, and we got a little bit of a question mark, a bit of mud thrown in the water by the GFS for the back end of the coming weekend and into Monday of next week. But we got some heavy rain to deal with before we reach that point. I'm also formulating some ideas now and fixing them down about how August might pan out and also September. But I'll try and keep you updated on that through the course of the next few days. First of all, though, just want to show you the frontal charts and show you what's going on here. These are the frontal charts. You can get them by going to weather charts. So if you click on weather charts at weatherweb.net, and down the left hand side under GFS operational you'll see UK fronts. Now we put these fronts on ourselves, so this is our version of the frontal chart, and this one's valid for midday today, and you notice this area of low pressure shifting its way eastwards. It's this that's driving this rainfall east across much of the country, bringing a cloudy and a damp day to many. If we take a look at how tomorrow pans out, well, tomorrow again is seeing low pressure dominating conditions once again, but it's kind of getting its act together as this little tripper point where the warm, the cold and the included front all meet. Notice high pressure now building into the south as well. This is high pressure bringing warm air north. These fronts here are still bringing cold air down from the poles, and where the two meet is where we're getting this rainfall developing. So bear that in mind as I show you this next series of charts. This is the UK pressure for the next few days, and time is up here in the top left hand corner, so that was 7 o'clock this morning. There goes today's rain, look, spreading its way eastwards, and there's the area of low pressure moving through. There's that heavy rain, look, clearing east during the early part of this afternoon. We then find just damp conditions following behind through the course of this evening, and bits and pieces of drizzle around during the course of tonight. But look, watch this rain out towards the west and watch what happens to it. Here it comes, look, moving in during the course of tomorrow morning, and then through tomorrow morning it edges its way eastwards. Now, as it does that, we've got to watch what happens as it crosses northern England, because it could be that as it gets into northern England late tomorrow, now I stress this is late tomorrow, so late tomorrow evening, overnight into tomorrow, we've got to watch for this becoming heavy as it then spreads eastwards, look, overnight into Wednesday morning. Now, let's just go back again. There we are. Now, the one thing we need to watch for here is, I think, that rain. The heaviest of the rain is probably going to be a little bit further south, and I think what that means is that as that rain goes in, I think this area of heavy rain is probably northern England and southern parts of Scotland. This is probably a little bit too far north, but this is the chart for 7 p.m. on Wednesday. You can see just how much heavy rain there is, so we need to watch for this risk of local flooding, southern Scotland, particularly northwest England, as we go through the course of the day on Wednesday. Down to the south, though, it's a dry day, a few showers around, and dry too for northern parts of Scotland. Now what I want to show you is that low clearing out into the North Sea, look, through the course of Thursday. The flow then turns more northerly. Still some rain left across northern Scotland and possibly northeast England at that time. For the rest of us, though, a dry start, but showers will get going through the course of the day, and I think for most of us we'll see some showers during the course of the afternoon. Overnight into Friday, the ridge of high pressure is building in. It's trying to get in, look, but notice what happens. Look down to the south, this little kink in the isobars here. That's a little trough, and the effect of that trough will be to perhaps trigger some more showers across the Midlands, Wales and southern England, particularly late on Friday overnight to Saturday, and showers too affecting these eastern coasts of Scotland. So the trough is still there, look, overnight into Saturday across the south, and really it takes its time through Saturday to clear away, but the high's building in, so I do think we're going to go into a day dominated by dry weather through Saturday, getting brighter too, and then excuse me, on Sunday we find a nice ridge of high pressure building in, bringing fair conditions. Now this is what I meant about mud being thrown in the water by the GFS operational, because look, late on Sunday it brings rain into western Scotland and also Western Ireland. Watch what happens. Into Monday it tries to spread it southwards through England and Wales and pushes away the area of high pressure. Now the GFS is pretty much on its own with this. I don't think this is going to happen. I think this rain is going to come in, but it's going to be further north. It's going to be across the far north of England, Scotland and Northern Ireland. And I think southern parts of the country are likely to stay dry. But this is something we have to watch over the coming days. I suspect this is just a spurious run of the GFS, but we need to watch it because it could just spoil this dry spell of weather. If I just show you the other charts, look, here is the MWF for midnight. Sorry, no, let's not go to that yet. Let me just talk you through the charts on the GFS. So the GFS then goes more westerly, and what it's doing is bringing the jet stream back in across Scotland, keeping low pressure north, high pressure to the south. That's probably more like what Monday will appear. Rain across Scotland, drier down to the south. So what about the ensemble charts? Well, is that the one I want? No, let me just show you the ensemble chart here. Just bear with me for a moment. Not that one. Yeah, we'll go with that one. So the ensemble charts, if we come down to rainfall here on the left hand side, click on rain, and we'll just walk through these. These take us ahead for the next 16 days, and I think this is probably nearer the truth. So there's today, look, there's the rain clearing its way eastwards. Let's now just tap on through the coming week, and time is up here, by the way, in the date in the top left hand corner. So that's Wednesday. There's Thursday with a low clearing away. Friday shows the ridge of high pressure building in, look, and over the weekend there's the ridge of high pressure nicely in. Now that's a much more believable pattern for Monday, look, with the rain across Scotland and across northern parts of Ireland. And then into the early part of next week, where we find this westerly flow coming in, high pressure down to the south, and the high really starting to build its way northwards and dominating conditions across most of the country. And just notice how, look, that high just continues to build through as we go through July. Look, it's still there. But what I want you to notice is the cloud and the outbreaks of rain affecting Scotland. So it's not everywhere that sees the fine weather. And I think the ensemble probably has it just about right. Now, you may be asking yourself, how is it that we can have confidence that this is going to happen and that the GFS probably hasn't got it right? Well, it's because of the consistency between models. You look for consistency over model runs, so from day to day, and you look for consistency between different models. And if I just show you the ensemble, look, for midnight on the 26th. So let's just go back and find you midnight on the 26th. These charts are better for looking at the consistency between the models. The reason for that is these colours are the 500 millibar flow, so that's about 18,000 feet, and they show us the troughs, which are these dips, and the ridges, which are the bumps here, and you can kind of compare the two. So there's the oh no, it's 26th I want. So there's the 26th at midnight from the GFS ensemble, look, with high pressure across the country. Now if we take a look at the ECMWF for the same time, so this is from midnight to 26th. Look, they've got high pressure across the country too, but notice it's in a different place. Okay, so the ensemble has got the high extending from the Azores, look, through the UK, but the ECMWF has it centred across eastern parts of the country. But if you look at the 500 millibar flow, look, the bump that's there, that roughly ties in with this bump, although the ECMWF make the bump much more accentuated. This is a ridge, a proper ridge building in the 500 millibar flow. And the GFS ensemble does have a dip out in the Atlantic, which is a trough. The ECMWF makes much more of it. So what about other models? Well, let me just show you the GEM. This is from the Canadian. So this is a Canadian model, and notice there's a difference here, isn't there? Because there's the bump, look, in the Atlantic, but they have a trough still out towards the east. So there is discrepancy between the models, but the overall pattern is that high pressure is in, and that's the one that we can read just at the moment. I'll post something on the musings about the CFS model for you, just to keep you up to date on the longer range, and I might get a chance to do another longer range video later on. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope that's been useful for you. Don't forget to spread the word about the videos, and tell your friends about what we're doing over here. And if there's any charts you'd like to see, anything that I can do to add to the charts, or any specific areas you'd like to see, then just send me an email, send me a tweet or a message on Facebook and let me know. So thanks again for watching, and please do keep the sun shining. Bye for now.